The following Coolermaster HAF 932 AMD edition review is sponsored by EIPhost.com. Remember to visit EIPhost.com for all your web design, web hosting, and e-commerce solutions.
Hi everybody, today I have a nice case to show you, and it's the Coolermaster 932 HAF AMD edition. The AMD edition differs from the regular 932 HAF because this one here has a red front of it. Has a nice AMD logo in the front, and it lights up in red inside the case. It definitely looks really nice, and it's just a few changes, but it looks really good. It does not have a fan on the side door, so that's another difference between the 932 HAF and the AMD edition. Stay tuned. In the next few minutes I will show you all the features of this particular case, and remember to visit aramistech.com for any information or technical data that I might not have here in the video. It will be there. This case costs for about $170, and I will put links on the site where you can get the case, and also for the power supply. I'll put some recommendations there because this case also does not come with power supply as well. So you probably get a good power supply for about $70 nowadays. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Since this case is so long, I have to show you several pieces. So the first piece I'm going to show you is the bottom part of it, where you have the AMD logo right there in the front, which is a nice Phenom 2 logo. And if you build yourself an AMD rig, this case actually looks really good. And it's all red in the front. And then you have on the right above that the Coolermaster logo right on it. And above that you have basically all the bays in the front. And you have the USB eSATA ports on the top. In the front of it, you have 6 expansion slots that you can use. They go all the way from right here. You have all these. And if you take this one out as well, you can use this as an expansion slot as well. So you have total of 6 right here. On the top here, you have 4 USB 2.0 ports, and you also have a FireWire port right here in the middle. You have an eSATA port, you have a microphone jack, you have a headphone jack, and then to the right of that, you have some lights here. And the bottom light is the hard drive activity light, and then the top light is the power light for the tower. Above those ports right here, you have some buttons here. You have the power button right here, then the reset button right here. I found that on the both 932 HAF cases, these buttons are kind of easy to press, especially the power one. By mistake, you can actually, they're a little bit inside it's inside the actual square, but in the hole here, but still, I mean, you can press it very easily, and it's all it takes is a little tap because it's not a hard button to press. So definitely, that's one thing I didn't like too much about the case, but overall, the case is amazing. It looks really nice, and it keeps everything really cool, and the fans are very quiet. On the top of that, right here, you have a mat, and this is for if you're going to put a cooling system in it, a water-cooled system. When you remove the mat right here, it's basically you have just a plastic part here, and you have a hole here for the water-cooled system if you add that to it, and also a hole here that you can cut out on the rubber part so you can fill the water-cooled system here. Right behind that, you have a fan right here. It's a nice big fan that lights up in red, and this is a 230 by 30 millimeter fan. It runs about 700 RPM, so it's definitely a nice fan. It'll keep everything really cool and quiet here. Air flows nicely into this case. And at the very bottom of the case, right behind the AMD logo here, there's another 230 by 30 millimeter fan right here that also lights up in red, and it also cools the machine as well. So you have 2 big fans on this machine that keep the machine really nice and cool. On the side of the case here, this is the front of it, okay? And here on the side of it, you have some nice vents to let out heat. And you also have a nice logo here. It's a Fusion AMD logo right here on the side. It looks really cool. And the difference between this one and the 932 HAF, the regular version of it, is that it's a metal cover, and it has a fan here, another 230 by 30 millimeter fan. In this case, I would have preferred to have that fan here, but this is more for show. So you have a nice see-through case where you can actually put a really nice rig inside and show it off to everybody. So it looks really nice. Taking out the cover, inside the case, you have several expansion slots, and I will show you all the ones. Here on this side of the case are the hard drive slots, and over here are like with DVD ROMs and stuff like that you will put over here on this side. The hard drive sits in here facing the connecting part to the back of it, and then basically just slide it right in here again once you're done and lock it in place. Once you connect all the hard drives in here, you would go on the other side, take out the cover, and you'll be able to connect all the SATA cables on the back end of this on the other side of the case. Here you have the 230 by 30 millimeter fan that faces to the front of the case, and this one also lights up in red as well. Above the hard drive bays, you have now 6 bays here for connecting DVD ROMs and stuff like that. And the way this mechanism works is a little different than the other one that you saw. At the bottom, this actually had a little button right here. So basically when you slide in a CD-ROM, let's say in here, or a DVD-ROM, basically you press this button. Okay, when you tap it and press it, 2 little legs inside, little pins will actually come out and hold the CD-ROM in place. They sort of look like the same pins. Let me see if I can show you something real quick. They look similar to this type of pins that hold in place the hard drive on the tray. Well, those pins come out and they hold inside the CD-ROM in place. So definitely it's really cool, and it's easy to put everything together and take out anything on the fly. On the bottom here, you have space for a fan that you could put. And the fan that goes in there is a 120 by 25 millimeter fan. And definitely you can get one of those fans for about $9–10, so it's really cheap to actually add that extra fan in here. On the side here is where the power supply rests. Basically, I have a power supply here, and at the bottom has a fan. So basically that would face towards the bottom, and you put the power supply right in place, and it would sit right there and rest on that part. I wanted to show you something about the power supply real quick. Since this particular type of case has a nice plastic transparent side that shows off everything inside, I recommend that if you buy the power supply, buy one that has this things nicely knitted, where you don't have the cable sticking out, and it looks really elegant when you actually put everything together. So it'll look a lot nicer when it lights up inside and you get to see all the stuff nice and neat. To the back of the case here, you have a fan, and it's a 140 by 25 millimeter fan. It's definitely a nice addition. So you have a total of 3 fans in here, one here in the back, one to the top, and one to the front of it. And remember, you can add another 4th one right at the bottom that I showed you before. Adding cards and components to this case is really easy. On the side here has a little plastic piece here that basically just push down a little bit, and it'll actually fold it out, push it out, and it'll actually come out. And you can remove the little piece and put your card in. Once you put your card into the machine, just push this back in place and it'll lock it right back. Turning the case on its back, you basically see the power supply where it goes here, your slots for your PCI Express cards. This is where the components of the motherboard would stick out, like where you connect your keyboard and USB ports and all that stuff. You also have the 140 by 25 millimeter fan right here. And above that, you have 2 little ports here for putting your water-cooled system. Now this plate right here is removable, and if you didn't have the 230 by 30 millimeter fan in the top, you could put your power supply up here. So definitely just keep in mind that that's something you could do if you didn't want to have the power supply at the bottom. The only thing is you would have to remove that top fan. Taking out the cover from the back of it, you basically see what's in here. And on this side here is what I was showing you, that when you put in the hard drives, all the cables will be connected from here. So you can run this nicely in here without everything showing off. The power and everything connects through the back here. And here also you will see the power cable for your fan, the front fan. So everything's right here through the back. So you can manage all your wiring through here and hide all the stuff so it looks neat on the front end of it. Inside the case, you're going to find a small box that has all the components you're going to need, like the screws and everything. So you're going to find in here a bag with screws and a little small cable here. This is optional for a speaker on the motherboard itself. And also you have all the tie wraps that come with it that you're going to need to put this together. So definitely everything's added here. You're also going to find in here a shield, and this is a 5.25 to 3.5 device shield. Well, actually, I'll let you adapt it to put like small FD drives, like for example a floppy drive, or if you're gonna put one of those media card readers. Sometimes they all go in here, so definitely, and it's nice it comes with this. Along with that, you also have one of the parts that's my favorite, which are the wheels. This is really nice because you can make the case movable, and you can just remove the covers at the bottom, and all the screws are included, and you can just add the wheels to the bottom of the case, so it's easier to move around, especially in such a big case like this one. And you also have a power extension cable included. So definitely those are the things that come with the case. It is complete. And the last thing that also comes with the case is a small manual. You have here the installation guide. This guide is really good because it will actually walk you through all the things you're gonna need to make your installation easy, and you'll be able to get through this quickly.